It's on us now. The season's here. We're getting ready. Should be a great environment Saturday. We got an outstanding football team coming to town, and first game of the season, so a lot of excitement. That's what it's all about. A lot of nerves. Get ready to go.
Who's your starting quarterback?
Right now, Patrick, I'd say Jack. He's had a good week and a half. So right now he's a little ahead.
What's kind of put him in that position?
I think he's done just a good job executing the offense. I think Jack is, he's been very cerebral, and he's done what we asked him to do. I think he's thrown the ball extremely well. I do think we have talented quarterbacks. I do think there's a possibility you can see more than one for sure. But right now, with where we are right now today, he gets the nod.
Has there been any update with the Padres situation?
Like I said, where we are right now today, Jack Stein will that's something we'll just see how that goes.
I know running backs are banged up a lot. You feel pretty good about the group coming in as far as that?
I think they're getting healthy, Patrick. I do. I think they're. It looks to me like everybody's back. Tez, I felt like Trubisky, George. I think they're all back, ready to roll. So I don't think we'll be without anybody. I think everybody's pretty much. I think we're getting healthier, which is good. I think week 2 we're a little bit banged up of summer camp. We're getting healthier and healthier, so that's a good thing.
From what you've seen, watching tape on Jackson State, what do they do well?
It's always tough because offensively, Coach Money wasn't there last year, so he's there. So you're looking at both. You're looking at film with Jackson State's personnel, and you're looking at film from places he's been. So you have to study that on that side of the ball. Offensively, it's a new year, so there's some new faces on their defensive football team. So again, that first game is always kind of a dance into the unknown a little bit. So. But I do see a talented football team, a well-coached football team, and we know we got to bring our A game.
With what Coach Mummy does offensively, having so many new guys in the secondary, how much of a stress is there on having that ready day?
Well, we've got to play execution football. Again, we know they're going to be a well-coached football team, and we know we've got to be ready. We know, again, they're a talented football team, so it's football. It's on us. Every week you got to be ready. We saw. Last Saturday night, Prairie View and Rice in the fourth quarter. We know you got to be ready every Saturday. It's a tough football, tough game. It's an unforgiving game, and we've got to be ready.
J.J. Jones, I see him second string. Is he somebody that kind of caught on late in camp?
Yeah, he did. I think he got here a little late. Patrick got here like in July, not June, so I think he was playing catch up. I think we've just seen him get better. He's a really talented young man that I think is going to be a really good football player, and he's getting better and better. So he's proved to us that he's earned that second spot.
How many guys do you expect to use in the secondary? 10, 12 guys?
Well, no, we'll. We feel good about our unit. We really do. You look at guys that, like I said, Picasso's been a 3-year starter. Ray Sean and Ernest have been around here for 3 years. They've played a lot of football, especially Ray Sean has. Ty Williams, we're excited about. He's a junior college transfer at the other corner. I felt like a few years ago he was the best corner in Mississippi, so we're excited about him. You look back at guys like Xavier Marion. Xavier will be a senior next year. There's a lot of similarities to where we were last year at this time. Again, we do have some age back there, but we do have some guys that hadn't had as many downs as we've had in the past. But again, last year Curtis hadn't started the game. Joe Mills hadn't really played a lot of football, and they did a great job. So, again, there is age. I like that, and we're able to mix a little youth in there with it. Kyle Envy's another young man that hadn't played a lot of football, but he's in the mix. He's an extremely talented player. So when you talk about Tyler Barnes, Shannon Showers has had an excellent camp. So we've got talent back there. So I'm actually. Being an old secondary coach, I'm looking forward to watching those guys play.
Being as deep as you are at linebacker, you've got the 2 deep here, but could you see even more play instead of that 2 deep because of how deep you are at linebacker?
In a game time situation, 2 deep's about as far as you go unless you have to dig into your threes and fours, but definitely at linebacker, you'll see us go too deep. But I can't sit here and honestly say we're, you know, 'cause we know we got a really good football team coming to town, and we got 4 linebackers I think that deserve to play. So I think you'll see those guys, but other than that, there are no promises.
What about Picasso? What kind of camp has he had, and how much has he bounced back from a year
I
ago?
think he's 100%. I do. Picasso's had a good camp, and Picasso, again, he's a really smart football player. He's a guy that, again, gives us a lot of solid play in the back end. He's a 3-year starter. I think that experience, that leadership, is certainly critical for our back end, and he just does a great job.
Trace has missed a little bit of practice time last
Yeah,
year.
he missed 2 days. He's 100% ready to go. So we just we set him for a couple of days, but he's good. It was good to get Arvin some work. We needed to do that. I think with the offensive line, we have to be able to mix and match some guys, dual learn. So that allowed us to move some guys around, and you never know when that happens in a game where you're going to have to make those transitions.
Tim Jones in the slot, what does he offer there?
I think Tim has a lot of talent. He's big, he's fast, he's physical. Again, the receiver core is a bunch that I'm excited about. I really am. It looks like, I don't know if y'all saw the Michael run around Saturday too. It looks like he's coming back to healthy. We're getting Tim back to healthy. I think Jalen, Quez, those guys have had really big camps, doing some good things. And then, hopefully we'll have Trevor back in the mix. Neil McLaurin looks like he's healing up. So, we just gotta, it's a unit that I think can be really good.
I know talking to Shannon Dawson back in the summer, he talked about how the completion percentage, he really wanted to see that improve. Have you seen that in
Right.
fall camp, and do you think that?
I think the last week we've really executed well in our passing game. That's something we just got to continue to build on. But again, that's probably why Jack has a nod going into the game. I think he's thrown the ball really well the last week of practice. So you certainly hope that continues on, because that's critical. At the quarterback position, you got to have efficiency, and that's something that's going to be huge for our success.
Give me your thoughts on your offensive line coming out of camp.
Again, I felt like we're getting a little deeper, but we're almost the same unit we were last year with just more experience. So Drake and Ty have done well. They're 2 of the old heads, they're juniors. But Arvin and Woody have those just solid days. You don't hear a lot about them, but they come to work every day. And Trace is a kid that I think is going to be outstanding. So, but our backup, our depth, Foxworth, Gaynor, those guys, Clayton, Sturdivant, Best, those guys give us a lot of depth, and we have some numbers we can move around. Naturally, you want to stay healthy in the offensive line, but at least we're deeper than we were.
Have you ever had a player in a position like Trace getting this?
I don't think I have. Never at center. I've had some freshmen play on the offensive line, but never. I've never had a kid as a freshman come in at center.
How do you expect him to handle the
He's a
situation?
coach's son. I just think he's a football smart player. I think he'll handle it fine.
Can you lead to what's led him there? I mean, can you tell us maybe one notable thing that maybe?
Trace is a smart kid. He's kind of got all the intangibles. He's tough. He's smart. He's football driven. It means a lot to him. Again, I do think he's been around it since he came out of the womb. Anytime you throw those kids in the locker room at 3, it's just kind of gets in their blood, and it's something that they have a passion for. So I think that's an advantage for a kid like Trace. He's grown up around football, and you can tell it's evident when he gets to college. He's on top of his game, and again, it's pretty amazing. A true freshman coming in, not only winning the job right now, but winning the spring.
Can you talk about your special teams?
Parker coming back. We need a big year from Parker. Again, I thought he had a big year last year, but always special teams would be a critical part of our football team, and so we need him to continue and even get better. Briggs is a guy that, again, kicks off for us, and we need him to be big each and every Saturday. You know, Zach Everett is a returning starter also in our punt game, so Zach's a young man that has some competition there. With Peyton Snyder and Tyler Flateau, those guys are all kind of battling, but Zach will be our punter. So hopefully, with the experience with all our starters back there, we'll be better. I think we have a lot of depth at linebacker. We have a lot more numbers now in our secondary, so I think our special teams units should be a little deeper. So you hope that leads to more success on special teams.
Jalen and Quez in the return game.
Jalen, Quez, we have a lot of guys. You know, you can put DeMichael, Trubinsky, T-Rod, those guys. You could see those guys kind of mix around, but definitely Jalen and Quez are two guys that will be back there.
Coach, with you entering your third year, do you feel that this program and this team is kind of in the image of where you want it to be?
I do. I mean, you know, naturally, we're starting the season. We're about to take the boat out of the harbor, so a lot of nerves and always when you start the season. But I like this football team, I can tell you that. I like this team's work ethic. I like the way they attack practice. They come to work. They're a Southern Miss football team. They have a hard edge. Now, we know on Saturday we got to come out and execute. That's the key to success on game day. But, again, this football team, I feel like, has the right mindset and personality to be very successful. Now we just got to go execute on Saturdays.
Do you ever feel that you're kind of modeling the way you put your team together as to how Coach Bauer used to put his team together?
I think every coach, including me, I'm no exception. You know, I mean, you're going to take what you learn from your mentors, and Coach Bauer taught me a lot. You know, he taught me a lot of football, and he taught me a lot of things. So there's no question. I try to take what I learned. I always had two mentors. Coach Bauer was one, and Bob Pruitt was the other. I spent a large period of my coaching career with those guys. I owe those guys a lot. They gave me my start. They gave me opportunities. So, again, there's no question. Again, and like I said, Jay Hopson's not bringing anything to Southern Miss. It's just our time to hold the flag. And it's a tradition that goes back, you know, way beyond when I was born. And I love Southern Miss, and we're just trying to uphold the black and gold standard. I think our kids understand the tradition and the history of Southern Miss, and it's something we're trying to uphold each and every day.
Jay, in your new contract, you got a little more money for your assistants. How important is that for you?
That's always big. I think one thing I can promise you, that's all I wanted for those guys. Those guys work hard, and they deserve so much that they do for our university. It's just, you know, you can't almost put in monetary value the sacrifices that those guys make. So again, we're blessed and we're appreciative of that. And I just want to thank Dr. Bennett and thank John Gilbert. Certainly that helps us, and we're very appreciative.
With this new contract, how nice is it now knowing you don't have to worry about this going forward?
Well, I said this before. I mean, Southern Miss is where I want to be. So, I mean, I'm a Mississippi boy. I'm a South Mississippi boy. I love Southern Miss. I love the black and gold. Every person has their own agenda, the things they want to accomplish in life. But like I said, you're going to bury me in Vicksburg or Hattiesburg, one of the two. So I'm going under the dirt right there. So I'm blessed to be here. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to be here, and just thankful. I mean, it's a certainly a university that I love, and I've been at Southern Miss longer than I've been anywhere in my entire career playing or coaching. So it's definitely in my blood.
Have you heard any expectation on the size of the crowd?
I think it will be a big crowd. You know, I expect a sellout crowd and plus. You know, one thing I've learned over the years, with games in state, which we tried to schedule, whether it's Jackson State, Alcorn, Mississippi State, I feel like we'll have not only a big crowd inside, but we'll have a big crowd outside the stadium. I can remember the last time we played Jackson State, we couldn't even get down Eagle Walk. The crowd was so intense. The next week we played Nebraska, and the crowd for our Jackson State game was much greater than the crowd for the Nebraska game. So, I expect a big crowd. It's a fun atmosphere for college football, and that makes it fun. It makes it fun for players, coaches, and again, we know we got an outstanding football team coming to town, and we know we got to be prepared.
How does playing both of you guys are playing in-state schools, how does that benefit both teams?
I just think it's good not only for the state, for football. It's what fans want to see, and that was one thing that You know, we've scheduled Southern, Jackson State, Alcorn State, Mississippi State, we got Monroe, South Alabama. We're trying to play Tulane. One thing that I would like to do is play local teams. I think it's what our fans want to see. I think it's great for attendance. It's great for just getting excitement going, and to me, that's what makes it fun. And again, all those teams I mentioned, and Jackson State's no exception to the rule, are really good football teams. So we understand, but to me, I just think it's big that our fan base and the other team's fan base can come into the Rock and catch the game, and hopefully we'll have a great environment.
Have you used any of your connections back to the SWAC from your time at Alcorn to maybe do a little digging on Jackson State and just kind of seeing what they look like?
You know, no, the bottom line is a lot of times film tells you what you need to see. Again, I know Coach Hughes, I know Coach Mummy, I know we're facing a well-coached football team with talented football players. That's all I need to know. But again, one thing I have coached in the SWAC for 4 years, so I understand the talent level, and I think that does help me a little bit because I understand who's coming to town, and we better be ready. And I know our kids are. I know they respect Jackson State to the utmost, and we know we got a big challenge.
Anything else? Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.